Good morning, students. Uh, what is the topic? What I will be addressing? Anyone has any idea? Is it written anywhere? Sorry? Besides that, now how many of you are internal? Raise your hand properly. Okay. I have been given a task to introduce you with the curriculum, syllabi, and you should be aware of what is being taught, what will be taught in these coming 2 years. My name is Dr. Doria Faruqi, and I teach in the Department of Management. Very soon you will get to see me in your classes. And I welcome you all in this department on behalf of all the faculty members. But it is very disheartening to see such low attendance today. I don't know what is the reason, but it's a bad start for you. Anyways, I will be discussing in few minutes what are you going to see, what are you going to go through in these 2 years in different papers that you opt for. So let us start. You can see the building you are sitting in, and these are the bylaws and syllabus that I will be talking about in few minutes. This is how the bylaws is. You can see the table of content. It is approved by a body that is called as Board of Studies, and then it is approved at the university level, which is called as Academic Council. And then we have vision and mission statements of the university, and then we have vision and mission statement of the department, school. Then you have QDs. These are some important areas that are being given by the new education policy by UGC. So all the departments are having these qualification descriptors. You have program educational objectives. What are the objectives of this program basically? And then what should be the outcome of the program? And then there are admission and examination rules, which you will be separately addressed by the controller of examination. And then the program structure and different highlights. So let's move on quickly. As you can see, the vision statement for the school. The school has 3 departments. As you all know, yesterday it was discussed by the dean and the HOD. So these are the mission statement: to be a premier academic institution imparting quality higher education in the diversified field of management. That includes general management, hotel and hospitality management, healthcare management, training socially responsible business leaders and entrepreneurs. After that, these are some specific, mission statements: to create a management school that fosters high quality research, executive education and consultancy work. Nurture a strong relationship with the alumni. As you could see that yesterday 4 alumni were there with you, and eminent industry leaders that you get to see very soon after my lecture maybe. And in the bid to create a noteworthy impact on society, to adopt emerging trends in teaching, learning practices and research, encourage continuous innovation in all aspects of management education. Of course, every subject will be encompassing these, the third mission statement. Let us come to the Department of Management. Our vision: building and nurturing a unit which excels in creation, dissemination and application of management knowledge, and to shape individuals, that is you, who are able to contribute to economy, humanity and society as a whole. So of course the management education, like yesterday they told you that this particular 2 years, they will be really different from what you had read in your graduation. Whatever field you may have chosen, many of you are coming from BBA background, so you know what is management. But in MBA you get to know about the how do you apply these managerial skills in different subjects. Right. Let us come to the mission statement: to transform young minds into future global leaders. You could see the leaders also yesterday, you met them. and managers and academicians in the field of management education who strive towards achieving accountability, profitability, and sustainability, to develop and train entrepreneurs, managers, and professionals to reach a global benchmark of excellence in their skill sets and competencies. Yesterday, they also talked about competencies, that you need to be different, you need to have an out of the box thinking while upholding the highest standards of morality and ethics, to create a diverse pool of managers and academicians with a multicultural and multidisciplinary outlook, with a keen desire to learn and grow. So, of course, every one of us, we want to grow, we want to learn, we want to earn, of course, and have a very nice life. So, for that, you need to struggle a lot in these 2 years, because nothing will be served on platter like this. You have to work hard, and whatever field, whatever area of management you choose, you must excel in that. You cannot remain a mediocre. So we are going to introduce you with the different papers that we offer as compulsory subjects, as foundation courses, and then in the third semester you opt for your own areas of your choice. These are the QDs. You will get to know them. We will be distributing this to you very soon once you join for classes, so you can just go through these. Now quickly I will come. These are the program educational objectives. I will just very fast, I will read it. Discuss the concepts of management and business administration in the dynamic environment of decision making. Apply critical thinking skills. These are very important. You need to apply critical, you need to have critical thinking skills, so that you are placed very nicely in better organization where you deserve to be. By identifying and analyzing management issues using the relevant case studies. Of course, in every subject you will get to know minimum 4 to 5 case studies are discussed, depending on the teacher and depending on the feedback that you give, whether you are interested or not. So what is the input, how much efforts you are putting in, you will get to see the double efforts the teacher is going to put in through case studies and simulations. Analyze, interpret, and apply concepts of general management, human resource management. You must have heard these words, especially those who have done BBA. Marketing, finance, IB, entrepreneurship for business decision making. Understanding, analyzing, and communicating global, economic, legal, ethical elements of business related to marketing. To train the minds of young professionals how to observe situations in real time and develop solutions accordingly. So you remember the chief guest was talking about how he had to manage a situation which was out of control, thereby increasing their acumen and employability. So here we are here to actually give you those skills, impart those skills which is going to generate employability. How important and how employable you become after 2 years. Then we are here mapping the mission statement with our program educational objectives. It's a matrix, and we match that whether our objectives are matching with the mission statement that we have in the department. And of course, yes, we are obviously matching with those statements. These are the program outcome. Please read it once you get it. Now, quickly, I will be, you all have come through, this is the selection procedure. You have come through some criteria or the other. And your first year starts semester 1, if you can see. It starts from July to December. Technically, we are starting from August, of course. And then your semester 2 will start from January, and it will end in May. Then you will, after 1 year, you will go for summer internship program that we call it summer training. And this will be for 2 months or maybe 6 to 8 weeks. Once you come back, like your semester 3 students have come back, they will start their classes from 1st of September. And it will end by December or early January. And then 4th semester starts. So this is how your 2 years are divided, first year and second year. Scheme of examination, the controller of examination will tell you attendance. That is very important at the departmental level. As we can see here, the the amount of student, the number of students who have turned up, it's really bad, and we will not going to tolerate it in our individual classes. Not a single teacher will tolerate. So you will not be able to sit in the first session if your attendance is poor. That is for sure. You can check with your seniors. We are very, very strict and very focused in this. So if you're coming to the classes, you will gain. If you're not coming to the classes, you think you are extra smart, that's perfectly okay, but you will not be allowed to sit in the sessions come what may. So that is where I'm very blunt in it. All teachers are like that only. So you better start attending the classes. Gone are the days when you're sitting and you're getting the notes and you're passing. And finally, then you are not allowed to sit in the examination because 75% attendance is compulsory to appear in the final exams, first semester exams. Right, so you decide, it is written here categorically, a student with less than 75% attendance of the lectures in each course shall be detained from appearing in the semester exam of that course. Simple. Okay, then you have your internal assessment. I will be taking up internal assessment later. Let us quickly come to the papers that we have. Now, this is how the structure of crediting is there. So first, let me tell you, in your semester 1, you have foundation course papers, and they are 8 in numbers. In your second semester, again, you have 6 core papers, and you will opt to optional papers. They are known as open university elective. So you have 4 papers and you have to choose 2 from those 4 papers. That's a choice given to you depending on what do you want to take in semester 2. So in the first year, in semester 1, you will be having 8 papers that are called as foundation group, FG. In second semester, it becomes core papers and they are called as core group, that is CG. Right. Then you come back in the third semester after your summer internship program. You have elective papers. Now you should be mature enough. You should be mature enough from day one also, that what area am I going to choose depending on your ability to understand that subject, your acumen, your aptitude, your inclination, and of course your marks that you get. So for example, if you think in the first year, first semester में you start thinking कि मुझे marketing ज़्यादा अच्छा लग रहा है, मुझे number भी शायद अच्छे आ रहे हैं, तो you may opt for marketing as your major in semester 3. And if you think I'm very good in finance, I'm very good with numbers, you may go for finance as your major paper. If you have inclination for human resources, you're more into writing, reading, you have less of outgoing personality kind of a person, then you can opt for human resources, that yes, I can think, I write, and I can do better in human resources. And then we have the fourth option called as international business. Many of you dream of going out. You have to carve a niche for yourself outside India. You want to settle in Canada, UAE, wherever you want to go. So students opt for IB paper thinking that they might end up their career in some other country and maybe some inclination to learn about international business. So you have these papers as major. The fifth paper as major that we offer is operations management, and it is more of like students with engineering background, with technical background, they opt for operations. And it depends on how many students are opting for operations. We float the paper as major paper. And then if you have some skills like you want to start your own business, you have some entrepreneurship skill. Yesterday they were talking of that innovative, you want to have your own business, or you want to have a startup ka aajkal bahut, you can see that people are going for startups and this and that. So you can opt for entrepreneurship as your major in semester 3. So we will be showing you the papers, and you start thinking from today itself that my personality fits in which paper as major, because that will be a very important deciding factor in your career. If you are made for finance and you opt for marketing, this will not be good for you in future. So you end up with some very poor thoughts. I wish I could have marketing, or I wish I could have finance. So start thinking from today itself, especially who have done BBA, because by now you understand which area you can perform. Right. And in the fourth semester, we will continue with your, of course, yes, third semester, once you have taken major, there will be 5 papers offered to you in major. And then there will be 3 more papers which will be treated as minor. So very diligently, you will have to see which area I should choose for minor. You can make combination with marketing and IB, marketing and finance, finance and IB, human resource and IB, right? For example, overseas consultants, so they can go for HR and IB. So there are a lot of permutation and combination you can make with major and minor papers. And in the fourth semester, you will continue with your major paper. There will be no minor paper. So you will have 4 papers of your major area. That is, if you have chosen finance, you will have 4 papers of finance, and you will have 2 papers of your open university elective that you had in your second semester. So there are 4 more papers offered to you. You will choose 2 papers in your final year. Of course, again, depending on your ability to gain knowledge and how it is going to help you in your final placements. So choose those papers accordingly. Right. Let's move on quickly. Now this is your semester 1. Very soon you will start with these papers. If I think, is it visible from the right last seat? So in your semester 1, you have MBA FG. That is, again, what is FG? Foundation group. Yes. So remember it. It is marketing management. The first paper, that is 101. You have internals 40 and external marks, that is your examination marks, 60. 40 means from maybe today onwards we will be assessing you in different ways, and we will be awarding you internals out of 40. The breakup is, of course, 2 sessionals, 1 presentation. देखो final year वाले बैठे हंस रहे हैं पीछे because their marks are yet not announced. You have 2 sessionals, maybe 3. You have presentations. You will be marked on presentations depending on the subject, of course. And then you have Viva Voce also. You have assignments, handwritten assignments. Maybe you will be submitting them on Google Classroom online, again depending on the subject teacher. Right. So you will have different ways where we will be evaluating you, and we will be finally in the end semester awarding you marks out of 40. And the major component, I mean, where we will see you, will be your attendance and class performance also. Whether you are coming to the classes or not, again, you will be being awarded from 40, some portion. And if you're coming to the classes and adding nuisance in the classes, then also we will see that how we award, that is class performance. Whether you are participating in the lecture, in some interactive sessions, all these things are very important. So today we are free now. You know that the ball lies in your court, that out of 40, how you will be evaluated. Is it clear? Okay. So every teacher will have their own way of evaluating you out of 40. But primarily, of course, in every subject, you have 2 to 3 sessionals, assignments, presentations, Viva, class performance, all these things. So you have your paper 102, business communication, financial and management accounting, international business environment, management information system, managerial economics, organizational behavior and management process, and quantitative method. So these are the 8 papers. Remember them by heart. And not only this, we will be giving you the syllabus, full syllabus. Very soon we will be distributing the PDF, and you will get to see the full syllabus of each paper. What are the different, and we have 5 units in every subject. Okay, it's very nicely divided into different units. And then in the last of towards the end of every syllabus, we are giving you certain books, the names of the book, textbook, as well as reference books, some important online learning material also, so that you learn. This is your semester 1, 8 papers. Then comes your semester 2. Once you finish your semester 1, once you are promoted, the promotion criteria will be told by controller of examination. 201, business research methods. 202, consumer behavior. Financial management, 203. 204, human resource management. Operations management, 205. And 206, strategic management. So by now, you know, once you read all these.
Somebody who is into IT will say design is the way an app works. Okay. Yes, both the things are design. they are designed in a certain manner, right? But design is much beyond that, right? And we will try to touch upon these very small things that if we are able to identify and inculcate in our daily working, it will make us a better professional. It may make us a better entrepreneur. It may make us a better problem solver. And that problem solver could be anybody. He could be an IAS officer, he could be a doctor, he could be a teacher. So there are certain essentials with respect to design thinking that we'll be touching upon. Now, the when it comes to design thinking as a vocation of trying to solve something, there has to be problems. And we see problems are everywhere. So that is the starting point. When a bunch of people who are given a task of deploying design thinking, they are given a problem statement, or they are given a situation. Okay. Now, based on a situation, people try to extract, cull out what are the problem areas, or not even a problem. It could be something which is hidden. It could be a need that is latent, and these are the people who are entrepreneurs, innovators, and they are able to take out those latent, hidden needs or problems, so to say. Okay. Now, in most cases, problems are very poorly defined, right? And that's the beauty of an effective design thinking professional, that he's going to separate the wheat from the chaff and try to come out with the accurate problem statement. And if you look in the business world, some of the most successful entrepreneurs or innovators are those who have been able to identify problem correctly, right? We have been all our life we have been doing things trying to solve certain problems uh, with varied degree of success, and but the fundamental thing that separates a great innovator and a normal human being is whether problem is being identified correctly or not. So that is always the starting point. And when I used to interact with entrepreneurs, I still do. We always start, not always, lot of times people start with a solution. I have encountered people coming to my incubator saying that, sir, I have come up with a great product, and I want to get this incubated in the incubator. And then, if a little probing, 5 questions, 10 questions, and if I try to understand what was the problem that was being understood, that was going to be addressed, they were not clear. And that's the problem in most cases when the people are trying to set up a startup or even a business. Uh, I mean, whatever is mentioned is not anything I need to be detailing into. Now, I want to make it a little attractive. You will have to pardon me because I'm a little under the weather. I have been having sore throat for about 2 days now. So I try to speak as much as possible, but I would want some interaction to be coming from the students also. Now, this is a designer's paradox. And if how many of you have here understands the process of developing a software or a website or an app? Just raise of hands. Okay, hardly. Okay. So what happens is in an IT company or people who are developing an app, and let's imagine you are developing an app for somebody else. You have a customer, you have a client, and you are developing it for that client. So what happens is there is a person who interfaces with the client. Okay, that person is generally called a business analyst. He goes and tries to understand the requirement of the client. He brings that information, sits with an internal team of developers, and tries to pass on whatever he has gathered, okay, from the customer's requirement. And these set of slides tries to give you a rather funny way of explaining what goes wrong in a designer setup. So somebody goes, and the person who's capturing the information, the person or the customer. Now, this imagine an organization. For example, you are part of a bank, and you have been tasked to get certain software developed, and you are assigned by the bank to brief the design team. Okay. Now you have understood the problem. You want to communicate. Now, the biggest difficulty with most of us is communication. We understand certain thing in a certain way. We try to communicate in a different manner. The person who is understanding understands in a very entirely different manner. And perhaps these set of slides is trying to give you a gist of what happens. Uh, he I'll not go slide by slide. I mean, just this is just a visual representation of what might go wrong in a scenario like that. At the end, the last slide, if you see, right hand bottom slide, the customer wanted a nature-friendly swing for him to enjoy under a tree. That was the brief. The brief was given in a manner that he thought that it is a swing with planks. He communicates internally in a different manner, or it got understood in a different manner. The people who were actually writing codes wrote a different set of codes, and the entire thing has gone into a tizzy. Okay. Now this is something I want your feedback. This is a picture, perhaps late 60s in America. Um, we would want to believe that Americans are great at design, but this happened. This is a real picture. Something happened, and the truck driver misjudged the height of the bridge and drove inside, and the truck got stuck. Now, everyone was called, the rescue team was called as to how this truck is now going to be pulled out. Okay. Now, I'm posing it to you. Anyone, what could be a possible solution here? Please help me. Anyone? Can you? Awesome. So what happened was it's a real case study. People, engineers would come and say that we should trim the top of the truck a little bit, or even a slash the bottom of the bridge a little bit. But eventually, a 10-year-old boy was passing, a 10-year or 12-year-old boy was passing. He said, "Why don't you just take out the air from the tires?" So sometimes the solution are right there. It is much simpler, but we all are so overburdened by our own prejudices about how to solve a certain things. I'm an engineer. I will always try to think that it has to be solved in a very technical manner. But sometimes great solutions are very simple, and most of the time simple solutions have been very successful historically. So what is design thinking? Now let's try to understand what is design thinking. Is it only for creative people? Is it only for people who are design in the sense that Manish Malhotra type के लोगों के लिए है या कोई artist लोगों के लिए है or is it for everyone? Or when it comes to design thinking, one of the things that very comes to mind is brainstorming. सब लोग मिल करके कुछ सोचते हैं और उसका solution निकालते हैं. Is it just brainstorming, or 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 it is beyond that? So brainstorming could be one of the step in looking at the problem and trying to solve it, and but it is not the only thing. Very in most organization you will hopefully go to a good organization and you will find that there are breakout sessions just to try to find out. These are called brainstorming sessions within the organization. But eventually somebody senior up manager is observing and is trying to take out the relevant items from that discussion, from that brainstorm. Okay. So so what design thinking essentially is, and just try to focus on the highlighted parts. It is a human-centered approach. It is a human-centered approach. When we are trying to solve a problem, when we are trying to look at something, a situation, we have to look it in a manner as to who is going to be the user, or somebody who's going to be the consumer in that situation, right? And if we are able to put ourselves in that feet, making that person the center of the situation and try to understand the needs, that essentially is design thinking in a very simple plain terms. So four elements around this. Design thinking takes a human-centered approach. Earlier, what you used to earlier, what I'm saying earlier, about 50 years back, uh, you had a situation. Suppose you are designing a hospital. Uh, so a designer or an architect who is not exercising design thinking approach will say, रिसेप्शन होना चाहिए, एक जगह होनी चाहिए जहाँ पे काउंटर हो, जहाँ पैसा जमा हो रहा हो, एक जगह हो जहाँ पे क्या होता है नर्सिंग स्टेशन हो. So he will have those elements within a hospital that has to be there, and he will try to optimize the space available given the restriction of the land or the place that is being built on, and he will try to fit in everything. Okay, but a more nuanced approach of handling or developing or designing a hospital would try to capture the entire user flow as to how a patient will come, where his first contact point will be, whether it will be a very intimidating kind of a reception as to so that person comes. And a lot of times I have seen people walking into a hospital clueless as to where to go. Okay, and I'm sure you guys have noticed that also. But some hospitals you will find that I'm taking example of hospital because that's how we started. But and that is something which we have experienced once or twice in our lives. There is a reason why hospitals have intensive care unit a little tucked away. There is a reason why a morgue in a hospital is almost in the backyard, almost in a manner that it is not visible to others. There is a reason why the ambulance carrying the dead body doesn't come into the main porch. And I'm talking about good design hospitals. I'm not talking about the old government hospitals जहाँ पे body भी आ रही होती थी और वहीं पे एक pregnant औरत भी हो रही होती थी, and such other things. And this differentiates fundamentally as to whether we have kept the people who are going to use that hospital or any place, keeping that person at the center of it. Last point is it is a mindset rather than a process. And there are three lenses around which the entire design thinking vision is built, right? One is desirability. What do people desire? What do people want? What are their needs that we need to address? Then it is the feasibility, whether it is technologically possible to deliver those upon those needs or not, and then whether it is viable. Now, viability question comes when you are looking at this from a business perspective. If something is not making financial or economic viability, the chances are that it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. Okay? So from that context, business viability is also central to this entire design thinking approach. Now, at the center of it, when all these things overlap at a center, things are people desirability, business viability, and technology feasibility. When all these things overlap at one point, that area is called experience innovation. That's where innovation comes in. Okay. Earlier, people used to have this approach. I'm not saying people don't have this approach now, but things have changed because of organizations, because of technological advancement. People know as to what is a better way of doing things. But earlier, what was that we have this technology. So earlier, technologies used to get developed first, and then that technology was always in search of somebody who could use it. And that is the unfortunate part of a lot of research being done in the universities. You work, the universities, the research departments, the R&Ds work on technologies per se without, at that point when they start that work, who's going to use this? And that is fundamentally the difference between I dare say the Indian way of university research and the West way of doing research. Most of the great research products have come out of universities in the US, right? I don't know whether you know the company called Bose, which is into sound systems. That was developed by an MIT professor, Professor Bose, and that was developed within the MIT. And then it was commercialized and it went on to become one of the biggest sound companies ever in the human history. So that is more to do with the way academia has approached this subject about research and commercializing the research. I'm not saying that India has not done any commercialization, but to the extent that it should and it can, that leaves a lot of ground to catch up. I'll just rush to the more relevant parts. Now, design thinking is not just for the creative people or product designer. So when it comes to design, like I said, design could be a product design, it could be service design. Taking the example of hospital, how the workflow will be there. Taking the example of a college, how various departments are positioned, or how a person will come when he or she is coming into that particular space for the first time. The entire experience can be predetermined and designed in a manner that makes it very welcoming for anyone who's coming. For example, I don't know, when Commonwealth Games were happening in Delhi, a lot of work was done along the path, on the footpaths. And because it was an international event, it was a requirement for the international organizations to make it friendly for disabled people. So you would notice that it has one orange strip which has certain grooves. So basically, it is for people who are blind, so that they can just find their way. And within 1 or 2 months, I mean, it first for blind people or even people who are on their wheelchairs, the ramp was made in a certain manner that a normal person, full-bodied, able person will not be able to put his or her wheelchair up that ramp. It was just done because it was a requirement. It was badly designed in such a way, and in few months' time, lot of backlash happened, and then it was dismantled and maybe corrected or not. But the point that I'm trying to make is that sometimes when it is being implemented, it is not being thought through in the manner it should be. So if you are making a ramp for people who are disabled and who would be able to drive their wheelchair, it has to be at a very low inclination. And that is a very common sensical thing. But then it doesn't happen. Uh, it is not just a brainstorming session. We just mentioned that, and it is not a silver bullet for all the problems, and it is a process. And I will just go to the other slides where the entire process of design thinking will come out as an iterative process. It is not a start and an end approach. So you have a problem, you start with that, you come up with a solution, and that's it. It's not like that. It is iterative, it goes in loops. I'll come to this slide a little later. Now, this is something which can be called a success story of design thinking. Now, God forbid, if you have children in your family who are at risk of being diagnosed of a very grave disease, they are put into an MRI system or MRI machine. And MRI, I don't know how many people have seen MRI machine or the space where it actually is. It is intimidating for an adult person. Okay. Now the problem was that G was encountering that a lot of pediatricians were saying, asking the company that so MRI machine requires the person to be steady, okay, through the entire process. But kids being kids, they were not being steady. So what to do? So lot of friction used to happen. Doctors would become rude to the parents and say your kid is not cooperating and stuff like that. Imagine a parent who's already living in a situation where the decision could be, or the result of that MRI could be that the child is potentially at a terminal risk. Okay, and then the doctor or the professional at the hospital putting the blame on the child that he or she is not cooperating. So they wanted to solve this. So the people at G Healthcare, they got together and said, let's try to understand what is happening. Why are kids, or what we can do to make the kids a little relaxed, and he or she can stay a little steady during the entire process, or calm during the entire process. So they designed the MRI machine in a manner that it became like a very attractive space for the kids. So kids, instead of getting scared of the machine, they actually were looking forward to that. I want to go inside and just want to spend 5-10 minutes during the entire process. And this is actually being implemented by G Healthcare. And I thought that this is a great example how the small things can be tackled if if we're a little adoptive and trying to understand what that person or the user goes through. So keeping that user at the center of solving this problem actually did the trick. Now, another example I will take. I don't know. Anyone heard about hippo rollers? Now, hippo roller is a classic case study from Africa. Okay, a lot of development agencies used to work in Africa, and one of the biggest problem in Africa, like in India, was scarcity of water, right? And used to happen was that kids and women had to walk long distances, draw water from the well or the water source, put it on their head or carry it in their arms and walk long distances back. And because of that, they were not able to, because there's a human limit to how much you can carry. Okay? So the amount of water that was to be carried was less, and it put a lot of burden on time and also on the health of the person who was doing it. So so potentially anyone confronted this situation, he will say that ज़्यादा कुआं खोद देते हैं, ज़्यादा नल लगा देते हैं. Okay, these are definitely solutions, but these are solutions which are long term, because government will take a policy decision that okay, fine, we are going to have that many pumps and wells and water systems, but it is going to take time. The solution that was required was immediate. And how to solve this problem? One, so that the number of trips, for example, in this case, the case study says that average woman was carrying about 20 liters of water on head or by carrying in a jerry can, and and the requirement at home was perhaps more than that. So let's say it was 100. So 5 trips were required for that person. So almost half the day was gone for that woman or a child just fetching the water. Imagine a situation where you have scattered inhabitations. गांव है, बहुत स्कैटर्ड गांव है और एक कुआं है बहुत दूर पे, तो वहां पे मल्टीपल ट्रिप्स लगती थी. So these people thought, they were two engineers, they were volunteering, and then they came up with the idea that what if we reduce the problem that they identified was that one, we need to reduce the number of trips, and two, can we lessen the burden being put on the body in terms of physical effort. Okay? So they came up with this roller, which was basically the container in which water was to be kept, and they made it in such a manner that it could carry about 90 liters. Now, logic says 90 liter versus 20 liter more human effort. So, just to mitigate that, they made it in the form of a roller. Okay, so you just draw the water, put it in, and it was designed in such a manner that it could be rolled on the ground, and that was at that point of time, it was such a big innovation that almost all the development agencies working in that region, and that region, when I'm saying, we are talking about 20 countries. Okay, they adopted it. Organizations like UNICEF, UNDP, and these organizations who were actually working there, they adopted this and delivered it long term, and they prayed. I mean, I'm thinking that when we were deploying this, heart of heart they were praying that this is not a permanent solution. The solution is clean drinking water as close as possible to the household. But till that time, this is a better solution instead of putting that heavy burden on the head of the woman or the child. Okay, so elements of design thinking were put in place as to trying to understand what the person faces when he or she is doing this. Any thoughts? Can I walk? Any thoughts on this? Okay, so where are the areas other than what we are discussing about daily life? The design thinking can very easily. I mean, that's how design thinking has come up. Apple is one of the company which is considered to be the torch bearer of design thinking as such. Okay, one of the first product designed by Apple, deploying design thinking as an element, was done by a design consultancy company in US called IDEO. Okay, now IDEO consulted Apple and designed the first mouse. Okay, go Google it and you will find out. And that was perhaps the beginning of design thinking being inculcated in an organization in the manner that Apple has done. Today, all the products that Apple designs goes through intense process of design thinking, iterations, improvement, and so on and so forth. There is a great, it's an anecdote. I don't know whether it is true or not, but anecdote nevertheless. When the first iPhone was designed, okay, the designer came to Steve Jobs, who was known to be a very brutal manager, and they gave Steve with the prototype. This is what we have designed. This is the sleekest, the smallest phone which has a touch screen and everything. So he said, okay, fine, let me have a look at it. He took that prototype and he had a fishbowl, small fishbowl, and he dropped it inside. Do you know what happened? There were bubbles coming out of it. So he said to his design team that there is still scope for minimizing it. Because whatever is coming out, the air, which means that there is air space inside. Okay. So that's how intense Apple has deployed the design thinking approach in their organization, and it continues till today. And there are many other organizations. Starbucks is also known. Now, Starbucks and Apple, two contrast. Starbucks selling coffee, selling experience, and Apple delivering products. But Starbucks again is known to deploy about the entire user experience. So one of the biggest problem with Starbucks was that whenever a person used to walk inside a Starbucks, he was not able to feel connected with the brand. Okay, so what they did was that they said, okay, what was missing? So they conducted some kind of a mystery survey, just talking to the random customer coming in. What is the problem? They said, Starbucks, just because you have a higher price, apart from that, you are just like a Dunkin' Donut. I might be coming here because perhaps there is a prestige associated with being in Starbucks, but there is no brand connectedness, so to say. So what they did was that they tried to inculcate local elements. So today, if you go to a Starbucks in 3 different countries, you will find 3 different interior decor, pulling the inputs of the local culture, the local influence, but the experience of a Starbucks when it comes to delivery of the product, how your name is called, how your name is written on the cup, that is uniformly applied globally. Okay, so two diverse examples. Now I'll come back to this slide. Who's doing it? Apple is doing it. Sorry, I'm digressing from the topic today. The topic was daily life, but here a lot of daily life elements are there. You will see a lot of names and few Indian names also. Okay. From within this matrix of 15 brands, anyone, I would want a vote here. Which is the most inspiring? Which do you think has actually changed our life drastically? What that? UPI. Excellent. How many votes for UPI? Okay. What else? Zomato, Swiggy, Uber, Google, most certainly Google. Apple, yes, but I will not say Apple to the extent that I would say a UPI, simply because Apple is still not ubiquitous. I don't use Apple product. My wife does, but in my home we have a 50-50 split so far as the usage of Apple product is concerned. But UPI, almost everyone uses it, and it has made the life of a common person. And when I say common, I'm talking about the lowest denominator. I'm talking about a rickshaw puller. I come from a city called Allahabad. I went there. Even a rickshaw puller in Allahabad was accepting money using UPI, and that was testimony to about how powerful that product is. A few days back, India demonstrated its digital India prowess by inviting the German delegate to actually do the transaction using UPI. I'm sure you guys have seen that. One small anecdote I will share and try to close. Yeah, I will touch upon this as well. Around UPI, the anecdote goes like this: that one of a very successful entrepreneur, somebody I think everyone in this room would know, he early morning he went to a mother dairy outlet. Okay, so mother dairy outlet means he is living in Delhi NCR. He went there, purchased milk. The question could be, and he is somebody who is a unicorn. He's a founder, head of a unicorn. He went there and he did a transaction, and the place was pretty crowded. And he took the milk, paid the money, and simply walked out. And while he was walking out, somebody just ran towards him and held his hand. Ki paisa nahi diya. Okay, but this was the experience. This was the scenario. Now, tell me, anyone, what would have happened after that? Anyone, please help me. Some sort of argument, okay, मारपीट हो गई होगी, हो सकता है पुलिस आ गई हो, और कोई pardon me, you'll be really be happy when I tell you the entire story. So just take some guesses. क्या हुआ होगा उसके बाद? अच्छा यही बता दो कि कौन था वो? कौन? थोड़ा तेज बोल रहे यार. So this guy showed the person that I've actually done the transaction, and that's more or less we also do. कि जब transaction हो जाता है तो दिखा देते हैं कि हो गया. And he came. And I don't know how many of you have encountered. Now there are apps which actually fake that screen. Do you know this? There are apps which can actually fake this screen that this transaction has gone through. Okay. So ultimately he did that. He was able to go away, but he went to his office. He called his team that this is a problem. That this poor person who's sitting in a place which is selling milk, and for him just two people walking out without paying is actually going to wipe out his potential profit and maybe bring him some losses. एक पैकेट के ऊपर वो 1 रुपया या 2 रुपये बचा रहा होगा. 100 पैकेट अगर बेच रहा होगा तो 100 रुपये बना रहा होगा, और 50 रुपये का अगर एक पैकेट है और 2 लोग बगैर पैसा दिए चले गए तो इंटायर प्रॉफिट इज गॉन, और 3 चले गए तो लॉस हो गया. So he tried to figure out why was that person reacting in such a distressful manner that he came and almost in a very intimidating manner held by hand, and they brainstormed. This was an input from the market, and do you know what that team delivered in about few weeks time? A device which is revolutionary, even more revolutionary than UPI itself, and that device is the sound box. You know sound box? Which says that 60 रुपए प्राप्त हुए. Now that 60 रुपए प्राप्त हुए device has actually transformed Paytm's business, and this person was Vijay Shekhar Sharma. This actually happened to him, and this sound box was one of the greatest innovation to come out of Paytm's stable, and actually gave a lift up about 70 to 80% of their transaction. People signing up, the merchant signing up, the numbers just simply shot up. Okay? Because the trust factor got into the system. The trust was missing, whether the transaction is actually happening. I'll just try to rush through. I don't know how much time I have. So these are the 5 broad elements when we are talking about design thinking. First is empathize. Now what did Vijay Shekhar Sharma do in that situation? That trigger gave him that empathy as to what is going wrong with this. Okay? So that's how you empathize. You observe, you talk to people, you shadow them, you survey them, you interview them. These are the various elements, and perhaps someday you will, in your design thinking, I notice that there is a design thinking subject in your curriculum. You will understand that in greater detail as to there are various tools of empathizing. But you start with empathy. You try to understand from the point of the user. And there is a difference between a user and a customer. Who can tell me what is the difference between a user and a customer? Anyone? आप MBA के students होने वाले हो? Pardon me? Customer can sue, but user can't. Why? Switch. What do you mean by switch? I mean that customer buys from one shop, next day he can move to another shop, but if you are a user of some product, then you can't. Okay, so you are talking about a consumer behavior. I am talking about more fundamental और simple सवाल पूछा है. Fundamental level पर user और customer में कुछ अंतर होता है. क्या ये वो क्या अंतर है? Are they not the same? Correct. So sometimes the customer and user are same. Sometimes the customer is different and the user is different. Pedigree एक product है, dog food बनाता है, user dog है, customer जो उसको खरीद रहा है वो है. बच्चों का पैम्पर है, बच्चा यूजर है, पेरेंट कस्टमर है. Okay. Now when I'm designing, who is going to be at the center of my mind, the customer or the user? User. Both. At some degree both, because अगर pricing की बात आएगी तो शायद हम उसके बारे में सोचें. So when we are doing this design thinking process, so various element, various personas, तो पैसा कौन दे रहा है वो भी important है, use कौन कर रहा है ये भी important है. Okay, and lot of times ये दोनों एक होते. Then when you have empathy, when you have collected enough information about that situation, then you define. So you start with lot of inputs and then you narrow it down to a single definition as to what is the problem. Okay, so for perhaps I'm just guessing कि विजय शेखर शर्मा की टीम ने क्या आइडेंटिफाई किया होगा कि क्या चीज मिसिंग है, ट्रस्ट मिसिंग. उस पूरे ट्रांजैक्शन में ट्रस्ट वाज perhaps the thing that was missing, and these people tried to solve that by building that sound box which gave the message from the company itself कि पैसा आ गया है. आपको कस्टमर से पूछने की जरूरत नहीं है कि तुम्हारा पैसा तुमने दिया कि नहीं दिया. Right? Then you ideate. Once you narrow it down to a single problem statement, then you ideate. Then again you blow it up. Then you come up with 20, 30,000 various options of solving that particular problem. Right? For example, taking the example of hippo roller, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के कई तरीके हो सकते थे कि सब जगह नल लगा दो, सब जगह वो हैंड पंप लगा दो, सब जगह वेल बना दो, ये भी एक सोल्यूशन है. या सारे लोगों को जो बहुत स्कैटर्ड रह रहे हैं सबको एक कॉलोनी छोटी बना दो और वहीं पे एक टंकी लगा देते हैं, ये भी एक सोल्यूशन है. बट द मोर फीजिबल सोल्यूशन, बिकॉज ये सारी चीजें शायद लॉन्ग टर्म थी, वायबल नहीं थी. मे बी ट्राइबल अफ्रीका में लोग नहीं चाहते एक साथ एक कॉलोनी में रहना. इट कुड बी वन ऑफ द रीजन. फॉर व्हाटएवर रीजन, finally they decided the immediate solution is to have that roller tank. Then you whatever you have finalized, आप फिर narrow down करते हैं, आप एक particular solution पे आते हैं, उसकी prototyping करते हैं. Like taking the example of Steve Jobs, जो उसके पास prototype आया था, just to have a look and feel ये product actually दिखेगा कैसा, ये काम कैसा करेगा. Now this for a product design वो physical product के form में हो सकता है. For a service design it could be in a role play कि बंदा हॉस्पिटल में जाएगा तो रिसेप्शन कहाँ होगा, उसको हम रोल प्ले से भी डिफाइन कर सकते हैं. ऊबर का पूरा एक्सपीरियंस कैसे होगा कि हम सर्च कैसे करेंगे, उसको जब ड्राइवर उसको एक्सेप्ट करेगा तो मुझे कैसे दिखेगा, जब ड्राइवर आएगा तो मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा, और जब मैं जाऊंगा तो मैं कैसे ये इंश्योर कराऊंगा कि दैट आई एम द सेम इंटेंडेड यूजर. ओके, तो अब आपने नोटिस किया होगा कि पहले ओला करता था ओटीपी, अब ऊबर ने भी ओटीपी इंप्लीमेंट कर दिया है. क्यों हुआ होगा ऐसा? परहैप्स कि हो सकता है कि गलत आदमी ने गलत राइड ले ली हो. दो शादाब नाम के लोगों ने गए, उन्होंने कहा मैं शादाब, दो अलग अलग डेस्टिनेशन के लोग बैठ गए. पॉसिबल. ओके, सो दैट्स हाउ डिजाइन कैन गो रॉन्ग, एंड देन दैट्स हाउ आइटरेशन वर्क्स, सो दैट ऊबर हैड टू इंप्लीमेंट समथिंग व्हिच ओला वाज डूइंग इट ऑलरेडी. देन व्हेन यू हैव द प्रोटोटाइप, यू टेस्ट इट. जब वो टेस्ट हो जाता है तो टेस्ट के दो ही रिजल्ट होंगे, पास या फेल. पास हो गया तो it goes out to the intended user, otherwise it goes back to the first step. Algorithm देखा है, yes no yes no yes no करके, so it goes back to the. So this is what I was mentioning, that it is an iterative process. At each stage there is iteration happening. It never stops. एप्पल ने अपने प्रोडक्ट आइटरेट करना, इंप्रूव करना आज तक बंद नहीं किया है. हर बार लगता है कि इसके बाद और क्या करेंगे. तो मजाक की बात है, एंड्रॉइड वाले एप्पल का मजाक उड़ाते हैं कि तुम कैमरे का लोकेशन चेंज करके बोलते हो नया प्रोडक्ट आ गया. बट इट इज नॉट एज सिंपल एज दैट. It is not as simple as that. Every time Apple outsmarts what they have done themselves. Okay, I'm an Android user. I'm a proud Android user, but I still feel that Apple is actually class apart. Okay, so and why is that? It is simply because that organization has not stopped iterating. And Apple का बार बार नाम इसलिए लेते हैं कि दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी कंपनी है, सबसे ज्यादा विजिबल और सक्सेसफुल कंपनी. लेकिन ऐसी बहुत सारी कंपनी, और जो कंपनी चाहे वो स्टार्टअप हो चाहे वो एस्टैब्लिश्ड एंटरप्राइज हो, अगर आइटरेशन और इम्प्रूवमेंट करना बंद कर देगी तो सूनर और लेटर वो कोलैप्स कर जाएगी. आप लोगों को पता नहीं आप किस जनरेशन में, आप लोगों ने शायद नोकिया का फोन इस्तेमाल नहीं किया. हम लोगों ने किया है नोकिया का. ऐसा वाला फोन था, फ्लैप वाला फोन था, डंडी में ऐसे ऊपर एंटेना निकलने वाला फोन था, वेरियस ऑप्शंस. नोकिया वाज द giant when it came to phones before the advent of smartphones. And today no one knows about Nokia. Then a much better organization came into picture, BlackBerry. Now BlackBerry was, आज के डेट में जैसे एंड्रॉइड जो एप्पल वाले प्रेस्टीज फील करते हैं वैसे BlackBerry वाले फील किया करते हैं. बट BlackBerry is gone. They were not able to keep pace with the development what that was happening in the technology space. एंड्रॉइड खत्म कर दिया. एंड्रॉइड ने सबसे पहले खत्म किया ये जो छोटे लोअर एंड वाले जो प्रोडक्ट्स थे. I'll close with this quote from Steve Jobs. He can be considered the flag bearer of design thinking in the business world. So design is not what it looks like or feels like, it is how it works. So Apple phone सुंदर नहीं है, amazing काम करता है, इसलिए बहुत अच्छा. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Shadab sir, for your valuable information and sharing the insights about design thinking. Your speech was truly inspiring and motivating for all of us. We are very grateful to have you here today with us. Let's have a huge round of applause for Shadab sir. As we as you have stepped into this world, uh, if you have any questions or query, you can ask Shadab sir.
I don't know, नेहरू प्लेस में सिटी बैंक का एक आउटलेट है, तो उसमें अभी भी उसका जो पोजीशन है कि it's against the wall, it's fitted inside the wall, and somebody could just drive there और बैठे बैठे वो उसको यूज कर सकते. So it was designed in such a manner, but now India is मुझे लगा India is not going technology. आज से 5 साल के बाद चाहे ATM खत्म हो, कैश हो गया. Literally, I would say I don't have a single rupee in my pocket. कभी कभी बार embarrassing हो जाता है, पार्किंग में आता है, होता 20 रुपए ATM पे वो कर लो, ATM से ले लो. A lot of time parking people for some reason they don't want that transaction. But eventually cash will be out, and therefore the technology supporting cash like ATM will have to be said goodbye. Any questions? क्वेश्चन ना आने के दो कारण हो सकते हैं, या तो कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया है, जस्ट फोकस ऑन दैट. I would want to believe कि आपको सब कुछ समझ आया. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. As you step into the world of higher education, it is essential to acquaint yourself with the mentors and guides who will shape your intellectual journey. It's an honor to introduce the head of our esteemed Department of Management. Please welcome Dr. Sana Beg, ma'am.
See, actually, a session on faculty introduction was scheduled, but in just a couple of minutes, we are having the COE of examination. So I guess I will have to reschedule my session at some other time, maybe after half an hour or so. The COE is expected any minute now. So we will have that session first because he is obviously our guest who will be telling you about the rules and regulations of the examination, which is a very, very critical ingredient for the course, right? So we'll have that faculty introduction session after about half an hour or so. Okay? We'll wait for 5 minutes. अभी आ रहे हैं बस.
Ma'am. So guys, जब तक सर आ रहे हैं तब तक as a senior I can share some inputs with you that may help you in your future journey and can help you to manage your time and other things wisely. So as a quote says that anyone can learn from his mistakes, but a wise person learns from others' mistake. So you can learn things from our mistakes and our journey and make your journey more smoothly. So there are some inputs that I want to share with you that may help you in the future. So the first is set goals. Set goals that what you want to become. If you want to become an investment banker, so or if you want to become a marketer, or if you want to go into IT field, when you set your goals, you know where you want to go, so you can choose your path wisely. So first of all, you have to choose what you want to become. Otherwise, in the end, you will be confused that what should I do, what I things I can learn. So from the start, be specific what you want to become. And other things is manage your time wisely. There will be a time in the future that on the same day you will have to give presentation, you will have to give sessional, and also on the same day you have to submit your assignment. So if you don't manage your time wisely, it will all get hectic. So from the beginning, don't procrastinate anything. Just do it everything on your time, and you will be fine. And other than that, get involved in extracurricular activities, because not everything you can learn in book. You can learn from YouTube video that how to swim, but you can't swim until and unless you go into the water. So get involved in extracurricular activities to learn how to swim in the real world. And also learn skills. Marks will help you, but in the end it's all about skills. What skills you show to the organization so that they hire you. So if you want to go into the fields of finance, learn the skills of finance. If you want to go into the fields of IT, learn Python, learn SQL and any other things that you want to pursue in the field. And also build a network. When we went to the internship, we learned that everything is a game of referral and networks. If you have a good network, it will be easy for you to get placed. So build a network with your professors and with your seniors. It may help you in your final placement times. And be open to new experiences. You are doing MBA, you can't be shy here. So you have to be open to the new experiences
and you have to take challenges. That's how you grow. And be yourself. Don't try to copy others and lose your personality. Make your personality, make yourself unique and differentiate yourself from others. And also help others as much as you can. Don't get involved in the petty politics. You are not in graduation or 12th class. So help others as much as you can. In helping others, you also learn new things. So you have to help others and be optimistic. And with all this, thank you very much for listening. I hope these insights help you in the future. And thank you so much. Let's wait and let's see how much time it will take to COE sir to come. Thank you very much. Business plan competition and quiz competition. Okay, so here are many activities that occurs. There were quiz competitions, there were business plan competition, and I don't want to show off, but my team won both the activities, and we came first in business plan competition, and also we got prizes, and we got 15,000 for business plan, and we also won the quiz competition in which we got 6,000 rupees. So our business plan was a bubble wash, and next section. So we had a plan of car washing company that many people who reside in gated society they face many problems. They're washing cars and to get a maid and other things. So we tried to solve that problem through our business plan, and it was all about. And as our COE sir has arrived, so no issues. So we have here Mr. Saud Akhtar and Saud Akhtar sir, and he will enlighten us about the rules and regulations of examination. As we tread the path of knowledge and knowledge assessment become an integral part of our academic journey. To navigate through these assessments smoothly, it's essential to understand the rules and regulations to govern them. Allow me to introduce Mr. Saeed Saud Akhtar sir, and who will shed lights on this aspect. Please give a big round of applause to Saeed sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Very good afternoon and namaskar. First of all, let me welcome all the newly admitted students to this beautiful campus of Jamia Hamdard. मैं हिंदी में भी बोलूँगा और इंग्लिश में भी बोलूँगा. Are you comfortable with that? Loud. You are in a college now. Now you are no more in a school. So you can be a bit louder here. I have been assigned the responsibility of bringing to your knowledge the most difficult thing that you consider in your life, that is examination. Examination से तो सभी को डर लगता है या नहीं? Yes, sir. My answer should be no. Examination at Jamia Hamdard is going to be a very enriching and enlightening experience for you all. जैसे जैसे आप यहाँ पर अपना कैरियर आगे बढ़ाएंगे, आप पाएंगे कि एग्जामिनेशन at Jamia Hamdard is as friendly as your teachers are. So examination system जो हमारा बना हुआ है, that is very liberal, very flexible and very accommodative, but it is very light but very tight also. All the dignitaries, all the faculty members, head of the departments, faculties, those who are sitting here, they are there to guide you how to proceed further in the life, in your career, and how to pass your examination. एग्जामिनेशन जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि आपने भी अभी मोस्टली सीबीएसई भी दिया होगा, फिर किसी यूनिवर्सिटी से, किसी कॉलेज से आपने ग्रेजुएशन भी किया होगा, एमबीए में, आई थिंक दे आर ऑल एमबीए स्टूडेंट्स, तो ग्रेजुएशन भी किया होगा। तो जो एग्जामिनेशन का पैटर्न होता है, सेमेस्टर सिस्टम, मोस्ट ऑफ द कॉलेजेस दे फॉलो, मोस्ट ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी दे फॉलो द सेमेस्टर सिस्टम। बहुत सी यूनिवर्सिटीज में, स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटीज में अभी भी एनुअल एग्जामिनेशन हो रहा है, बट हियर इन द मैनेजमेंट डिपार्टमेंट आई एम हैविंग विथ मी द असिस्टेंट कंट्रोलर ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन, मिसेज जसविंदर कौर। शी इज द पर्सन हु विल बी डीलिंग विथ योर एग्जामिनेशन मैनेजमेंट। आप खड़े होकर एक बार विश कर लीजिए सबको। And whatever problems, whatever issues you will be having, she is the contact person, she will be the nodal person for that. Examination जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, it will be semester system here, और semester system में every 6 months it is our endeavor to conduct the examination, और इसमें internal examination होता है। internal means सेशनल एग्जाम होगा, दैट विल बी ऑफ 40 मार्क्स ओनली। ये 40 मार्क्स का एक सेशनल एग्जामिनेशन जो आपके टीचर्स होंगे वो कंडक्ट करेंगे। सो यू हैव टू कीप योर टीचर वेरी हैप्पी। इफ यू वांट टू हैव गुड मार्क्स इन सेशनल, देन यू हैव टू कीप देम हैप्पी एंड यू हैव टू ओबे देम। व्हाटएवर instruction, whatever advice, whatever counseling they will be doing it for you, for your welfare, for your betterment. So you have to be very attentive in your classroom. Whatever they will teach, you have to listen to them carefully, and whatever assignment they will be giving to you, you have to do it seriously and efficiently, and then you have to obey them, and then you have to go in the path what they will be showing to you. If they will be pointing out some mistakes कि ये आपकी गलतियां हैं, तो इस पे कोई आपको काउंटर ये नहीं करना चाहिए कि whatever mistakes or whatever error they will be pointing out to you, it is for your betterment. आपको उस वक्त बुरा लगेगा कि मैंने तो बहुत अच्छा लिखा था, आप मुझे गलत बता रहे हैं, या मेरा जो आंसर था वही सही है, जो आपने बताया वो गलत है। बट बाद में आप रियलाइज करेंगे, उस वक्त नहीं करेंगे। बात सही है, हम लोग भी यही करते थे। जब हमारे टीचर्स हमको बोलते थे तो हम लोग उनसे काउंटर करते थे कि नहीं सर, हमने जो आंसर लिखा है वो तो सही है। तो बाद में लेकिन रियलाइज किया कि नहीं, उस वक्त जो उन्होंने हमको बताया था वो हमारे फायदे के लिए था, और उस पर अगर हम उस वक्त अमल करते तो शायद उसमें हमारा और अच्छा मार्क्स आता। तो ये सेशनल का इंटरनल एग्जामिनेशन होगा, और उसके बाद एक रिटन एग्जामिनेशन होगा, वो 60 मार्क्स का होगा। और उससे पहले आपको एडमिट कार्ड भरना होगा। एडमिट कार्ड से पहले ये चीज़ आप लोग प्लीज, यू हैव टेकन एडमिशन अभी, you have to be very particular about two things. That is, first is attendance. We are very particular about our attendance, and if there will be attendance में shortage होगा, 85% attendance is required, but उसमें 5% का relaxation मिल सकता है because of some exigencies. It is not as a rule कि 5% का आपको relaxation मिलेगा। अगर कोई बीमार पड़ गया, सचमुच में बीमार पड़ गया, आपके मेडिकल सर्टिफिकेट जो डॉक्टर से लेके घर दिखा देते हैं वो नहीं चलेगा। हो सकता है कि हमारा भी हॉस्पिटल है, अगर आप झूठा सर्टिफिकेट लाएंगे तो हम आपको वहाँ भी चेक करवा लेंगे। तो 85% अटेंडेंस इज मस्ट फॉर अपेयरिंग इन द एग्जामिनेशन, एंड यू हैव टू क्लियर ऑल योर ड्यूज। फीस आपका उस एग्जामिनेशन से पहले उस सेमेस्टर की फीस क्लियर हो जानी चाहिए, दैट इज मस्ट। आपका एडमिट कार्ड जो आपको that will be issued to you, that has to be filled up much before the examination, and you have to go by the notices put by the department. Many a times it happens कि यार अभी तो लास्ट डेट जो है वो परसों था, लेकिन हम उसको फॉर्म नहीं भर सके, मेरा एग्जामिनेशन तो एक हफ्ते के बाद है, हम आराम से जाके फॉर्म भर लेंगे. That will not be accepted. If the deadline is 15th of August, the deadline will be 15th of August. On 16th, if you will bring the form, it will not be accepted by the department, and your head of the department will not forward it. I am making it clear from here, so that there should not be any issue on this, whether I will fill the forms as per my will. No, you have, जो आपने कॉलेज में किया होगा, आपने +2 में किया होगा, बोर्ड का आपका पहले से निकलता है, 6 महीना पहले बोर्ड्स में निकलता है कि आपको फॉर्म्स को भर देना. That part you have to be very careful about it, and you have to adhere to the timeline. Whatever the timeline has been given in that, whatever the deadline has been given to that, you have to adhere to that, and you have to obey that order. Otherwise, you will be in problem. You have to keep running कि मेरा फॉर्म एक्सेप्ट नहीं हुआ. आपको जाके अपने हेड के पास जाना पड़ेगा, अपने सर के पास जाना पड़ेगा, अपनी मैम के पास जाना पड़ेगा कि मेरा प्लीज एप्लीकेशन को फॉरवर्ड कर दीजिए, मेरा एडमिशन फॉर्म, मेरा एग्जामिनेशन फॉर्म एक्सेप्ट नहीं हो रहा है. These two things are very important: attendance and your fees and deadline, adhering to the deadline of the examinations. Examinations will be held twice a year, semester system में, and it is our endeavor कि हमारी कोशिश हमेशा से रही है और अभी ज़्यादा ही हो गई है कि आपका रिजल्ट मैक्सिमम 30 डेज में हम पब्लिश कर देंगे. You will get your result within 30 days of your examination, and you will get your mark sheet also within 30 days. That will be our, except some exigencies, अगर कुछ टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम्स आ गए तो वो शायद डिले हो सकता है, वो भी ज़्यादा नहीं होगा, बट इट इज़ आवर endeavor that the results are published on time. आपके courses, because your teachers, the faculty members are very efficient here, very sincere here, and they are all student friendly. So whatever problems if you are having in your academics, you can consult them directly, you can ask them, and you can get your problems resolved. If you have any query, you can ask them in the classroom. They will encourage your question and answer also. If you are not able to understand any topic, any subject, any matter, you can directly contact them and get your problems resolved by them. Examination, as you tell, it will be two parts. One is internal, another is external. Internal is sessional, that will be taken by your department. External will be taken by the university. And marks of both the things will be combined, and then your results will be published. According to the marks you will be obtaining in your sessional internal examination and in the external examination, that is 60 marks, 40 marks, both the marks will be added, and then your result will be announced accordingly. Time is whatever time the department will be given, that will be there in your question paper, and we will try to publish the results within the time what I have said, within 30 days. Another thing that I would like to have your attention is that we are very, very strict in unfair means. If anybody will be found indulging in unfair means practices during the exam, whether it's internal exams or whether it's external examination, the punishment will be very severe, and you will have to face the music. You can ask your senior when you will be here, you will be meeting your senior colleagues, and you will get the information from them how serious we are about the unfair means practices. For unfair means, Jamia Hamdard has zero tolerance. So please don't indulge in them, indulge in that. And unfair mean practices में क्या-क्या आता है, your department will be telling you, your head of the department will be telling you before the commencement of the examination. Your invigilators will be telling you mobile phones, that is absolutely no bags, no calculator, no nothing. And if you will be caught, there will be very heavy penalty on you, which you will have to pay. And ultimately your parents have to pay, and there will be further action according to the thing that you will be indulging in that. So my advice, my request to all the newcomers is that when you are putting your first foot in the campus, never thought of doing or never think of if we will be doing such type of things. Your courses will be covered by your teachers much before your examination. If you are having any doubt, kindly get it resolved by them. But never try to adopt any unfair means in the examination, because the punishment will be very severe and there will be no leniency shown at that time. So that is why I want to bring it to your notice much before that. This is the thing. Our classrooms are very friendly, teachers are very friendly, they are always available to you 24 into 7, they are available for you, for your guidance, for any advice, for any counseling, whatever you require for that. These are the basic things I wanted to bring into your notice. Regarding the examination system, our examination system is very transparent. If any student after taking the examination thinks the marks awarded to him is not as per his satisfaction, we have a system of re-evaluation also. For that, you will be coming to know about how to proceed about for that. You have to submit an application for that. But you should be aware of this thing. Whatever marks, if you are applying for re-evaluation, if you are not satisfied with your marks, if your marks increases after re-evaluation, well and good. But unfortunately, if your marks decreases after re-evaluation, you will be suffering for that, because that marks will be counted. So before applying for re-evaluation, please be sure that what you have written is correct and you will be getting more marks. Otherwise, if you think कि just कि हमको रीएवोल्यूशन के लिए अप्लाई कर देना है, मेरा मार्क्स आया है 40, हमको कम से कम 60 मिलना चाहिए था और ऐसे ही आपने उसके लिए अप्लाई कर दिया। अगर अनफॉर्चुनेटली आपका मार्क्स 40 से कम होके 38 हो जाएगा तो वही काउंट किया जाएगा, ना कि 40 मार्क्स। अगर उससे बढ़ गया वेल एंड गुड, लेकिन जो भी मार्क्स आएगा दैट विल बी द फाइनल मार्क्स। सो री-एवोल्यूशन से पहले आपको ये सब चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखना होगा। एग्जामिनेशंस जब भी होंगे उसका मच बिफोर टाइम, एटलीस्ट 1 महीना या 2 हफ्ते पहले तो आप इन्फॉर्म कर ही देती, तो 15 डेज पहले आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन टाइम टेबल उसका निकल जाएगा, क्लासरूम अलॉट हो जाएंगे, सारा फैसिलिटीज आपको एग्जामिनेशन में जो हो सकती है वो आपको प्रोवाइड की जाएगी यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से। और एग्जामिनेशन आप अपने खुले दिमाग से दीजिए, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग से दीजिए, न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज में जो दिया हुआ है उसको पढ़िए और उसके हिसाब से अपने से एनालिसिस करके क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग से अपना दिमाग इस्तेमाल करके एग्जामिनेशन दीजिए। वी डोंट बिलीव इन कॉपी बुक स्टाइल। ये नहीं है कि आप उसको रट के आ गए घर से और उसको आके आपने यहाँ पर लिख दिया, जो कि बहुत से स्टूडेंट करते हैं। लेकिन यहाँ पर यू हैव टू अप्लाई योर माइंड, यू हैव टू critically analyze all the questions and then you have to write the answer. So basically it will be your aptitude test, your knowledge test, and how you will deal with a critical situation, that will be judged in your examination. Your faculty members, they will be telling you later on about it. So in a nutshell, this was what I wanted to share with you all. Welcome to Jamia Hamdard. It is a beautiful campus. It's a wonderful university. You will enjoy your stay here. You make new friends. Visit the campus. We have so many canteens also here. The one canteen is just opposite the department. There are other canteens also. Make around, make new friends. Very good playground is there. We have facilities for cricket, day and night cricket. We have basketball, volleyball, table tennis, everything is there. So make use of that and enjoy your stay, enjoy your life here. So with this, I end my talk on the examination. If anybody is having any question, they may ask. Anybody would like to ask anything about the examination system or any other regarding academics? You are feel free to ask me. Nobody? सबको समझ में आ गया? Clear? Okay. So thank you very much. आप you want to add something? कुछ बोलना है तो बता दीजिए बच्चों को. Okay. Thank you very much.
Come to the culmination of this orientation program, let me remind you that Jamia Hamdard is not just an institution, it's a community where dreams are nurtured, knowledge is celebrated, and ambitions find wing to soar. May your journey here be filled with profound discoveries, lasting friendships, and accomplishments that surpass your wildest aspirations. Remember, every step you take to this path, this is a step toward realizing your potential and contributing to a brighter tomorrow. From the heart of this university family, I express our gratitude for choosing Jamia Hamdard, and I extend my best wishes to each and every one of you present here. Thank you.
The students are requested to stay back for a while. The students are requested to stay back, okay? Mansoor, can. A special interactive session has been organized for you. This is Dr. Mansoor Ahmed. He will be having a session, an interactive session with you because we wanted you to be involved in certain activities rather than since morning you are hearing different kind of lectures, etc. So this is kind of an ice-breaking session and an interactive session. He is Dr. Mansoor Ahmed. He is assistant professor in the Department of Management only. He teaches marketing and is a very sincere and popular teacher amongst the department. So the dice is open to now Dr. Mansoor Ahmed.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you, ma'am, for the overwhelming words. Let me introduce my assistant or my student, that is Amr Siddiqui. Amr. So we are just trying to make the ice breaking because यार हिंदी ज़्यादा हो रही है, इंग्लिश ज़्यादा हो रही है. ऐसा लग रहा है कि आप सब लोग बैठे बैठे बहुत जम गए हैं. एसी बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है क्या हमारा? बहुत ठंडा कर दिया, जम गए हो सब लोग बैठे बैठे. So we want to break your ice actually. Okay, so are you ready? Are you with me? Okay, so we are starting an ice breaking activity with you guys so that you can feel very good in this environment. Amr, can you help me? Yeah, please. So I want 7 to 8 students from MBA first. Volunteers, please come on the stage. 7 to 8 students I want. आ जाओ भाई अपने आप, इतना शर्माओगे? You have to be there for 2 years. Come on, yes, have a big hands. Number 1, number 2, yes, come on. How many students? 3. We have 3. How many students here? 4 students. How? Girls? आप सब पीछे हो क्या? लड़कियां आगे नहीं आएंगी? डर लग रहा है? अरे भाई हम लोग भूत नहीं है, कुछ नहीं करेंगे. Don't worry, come on. You will feel enjoyable, definitely. Please come on the stage. Girls, anyone? सेंटर में जो बैठे हैं इधर, बच्चे. ये पूरी लाइन गर्ल्स की है. इसमें से 2 लड़कियां आएंगी, प्लीज. कम ऑन, या फिर मैं अपने आप बुलाऊंगा आप लोगों को. जल्दी आइए बाहर. जल्दी प्लीज, प्लीज. यस, वेरी गुड. हैव अ बिग हैंड्स. So this is an activity actually. मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. एक एक्टिविटी है, इसमें हम सब लोगों को एक आपको रोल देंगे छोटा सा, और उसमें आपको कुछ नहीं करना. यू जस्ट हैव टू कॉपी योर सबऑर्डिनेट, ओके, एंड देन यू हैव टू परफॉर्म इट. मेक अ लाइन लाइक दिस. ऐसे करोगे, कुछ नहीं है, कुछ नहीं होगा. डोंट वरी. यस, या मेक अ हैंड हियर, 1 hand distance. ओके, ओके, वेरी गुड.
आप बीच में आ जाए, आप पीछे चले जाइए, सबसे लास्ट में। Amr will help you in doing the activity. Amr, are you ready? Okay. So हम लोग क्या करेंगे? In this activity में we are just playing the game of communication. Okay. So the first student will get the communication from the end student. Got it? And we will see how the communication will be distorted or it will be in good position to understand. So आप लोगों को ऐसे ही करना है, आपका पीछे वाला आपको कुछ सेक्शन करके बताएगा and then you have to perform it one by one. Okay? ऐसे रहना, पीछे वाला आपको बुलाएगा, ऐसे आप मोड़ेंगे और वो आपको कुछ करके दिखाएगा, then you have to perform it. Got it? Is it clear? Okay. Amit, are you? So what are the things you are doing? Please manage or set going.
So the first thing we were doing is they have to copy the non-verbal communication and that will be action based. And as sir has already stated that one by one we have to see that what the chain is reacting to. So now I will begin. Please don't laugh if I do anything funny. Then Junior
पहले एक बार ऑडियंस को करके आप दिखा दो। ऐसे आप लोग इधर देखिए, इधर प्लीज, इधर नीचे मुड़ के नहीं देखना आप लोगों को। जो मुड़ेगा बाहर निकाल दिया जाएगा ग्रुप से। ठीक है? ऐसे इधर आप सब ऐसे रहिएगा, प्लीज देखिए। एक और दो तीन एक्टिविटीज और। समझ में आया? गॉट इट? ठीक है। यस बेटा, बस ओके वैसे हो गया, बस वापस दो। यस डू इट। ऐसे ही करेगा, जो उसने किया था वैसे करे, जैसे वो कर रहा है आपको वैसे रिपीट करना। नो आइडिया। See, this is the beauty of communication dialogue, which you will learn in the management. Okay? हम communication को कैसे distorted कर देते हैं, ऐसे ही अफवाहों का बाजार कर देते हैं। So did you enjoy the guys? Once more, okay. Next batch will come. Okay. Thank you so much for your coming here. Next batch of students, please come on. आज के पीछे से इधर आप लोग तीनों में से आइए, जल्दी come on, please come. Girls, two girls, yeah, pick one, please come. Yeah, जल्दी आओ बेटा, don't wait. इधर से आइए लास्ट में, पीछे सबसे लास्ट में. Yes, आइए, जल्दी आइए. आप लोग बुला के आओ. So we have three. और प्लीज लास्ट में आइए, जल्दी आइए बेटा, इतना क्यों कर रहे हो, जल्दी आइए, ये आपकी बेनिफिट के लिए। देखिए वी नो कि आपके लेक्चर सुन के साथ मैं समझ गया हूँ, यू आर जस्ट बिकम नाइस, तो वी आर डूइंग एक्टिविटी एक्टिविटी, इससे आपको बहुत कुछ सीखने को भी मिलेगा, साथ के साथ यू विल एंजॉय दिस एक्टिविटी। वी हैव सर्टेन मोर एक्टिविटीज, वी हैव टाइम, विल डू इट, डोंट वरी। So 5, we will 5 more. Last, cap one. आगे, आगे जल्दी आओ जल्दी, आगे स्ट्राइक शॉट्स में, आ जाओ, लिखना है, आप लिखने और पकड़ के लाओ जल्दी से पकड़े, ओके नहीं आऊँगा, अब की बार एक्टिविटी मैं करके दिखाऊंगा, ओके, घूम जाइए, वही तुम लोग बीच में हो गए। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 ओके। आप इधर लास्ट में, आप आगे आ जाओ। थोड़ा सा आगे होंगे बेटा, थोड़ा आगे और आगे और आगे और ओके। पीछे मुड़ के नहीं देखना है, ठीक है? ओके, टेक द माइक।
चलो बेटा आगे देखना है, पीछे नहीं मुड़ना, बिल्कुल भी आगे देखना है, बेईमानी नहीं, ठीक है? एक्टिविटी सिंपल। चलो कम ऑन।
वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन नहीं कर सकते,
नो
बिल्कुल
वर्बल
एक्शन।
कम्युनिकेशन अलाउड। What was the activity? Also, see, this is distortion of communication. Okay, so in any organization, when you face different type of communication, the actual activity is very funny. This one, second step, third step, okay, fourth step, fifth, sixth. There are 6 steps, and then finally you are plotting only this. So this is basically the problems in communication, the distortion. So in verbal and non-verbal communication, you will read in the paragraph. Okay, the business communication I think teacher will teach you, so you will get to know. So it is just an activity. उनका नाम एक बार माइक पे अपना इंट्रोडक्शन दीजिए थोड़ा छोटा सा.
My name is Zulfikar Khan.
My name is Simran Kaur. My name is Ritika Sethi. Myself, Khuda Vikas.
My name is Saeed Antarima. Hello everyone, my name is
Hi everyone, my name is Noor Zakir.
Hi everyone, my name is Mustafa.
Hello, my name is Zaid Iman. Hello everyone, this is Akib. ओके, सो इसी ग्रुप से एक एक्टिविटी और करवा रहे हैं हम लोग. अरे डोंट वरी, नेक्स्ट राउंड चलिए, नेक्स्ट आ सर, नेक्स्ट राउंड वी नीड 8 पीपल्स फॉर दैट. Those who want to stay back can stay back. Those who want to stay, yes, you can use. आप रुकना चाहते हैं? नाम बोलो, नाम बोलो. साइमा आ जाओ भाई जल्दी से. साइमा कम ऑन, जल्दी आओ. और बताओ भाई, नाम बताओ. दुश्मनी निकालो. शराब प्लीज कम ऑन द स्टेज. Are you enjoying, guys?
Shadab, please come on the stage.
Shadab, we need 8 people. 8 लोग चाहिए हमें जो जाना चाहते हैं चले.
Anybody wants to leave वो चला जाए and they get call a name. लेकिन उसको आना पड़ेगा only then he can leave. This is the condition.
One guy.
If not, Mehtab who wants to come on the stage.
Four guys, four in the body. अपने बॉटल्स के सामने. Anybody wants to quit? सबको रहना है? मैं तो next round बुलाएंगे. Okay, so game is very simple. It's very simple game. इसमें जो बॉटल उठा लेगा वो जीत जाएगा. ओके, जो बॉटल नहीं उठा पाएगा वो लूज कर जाएगा. It sets your efficiency, कितनी जल्दी आप रिस्पॉन्सिव. हम लोग कुछ वर्ड्स बोलेंगे, जैसे मैं बोलूंगा हेड तो आप हैंड को छुएंगे, मैं बोलूंगा नीज नीज, फीट फीट, बैक स्टमक, व्हाटएवर इट इज, जो भी बोला जाएगा, जैसे बॉटल बोलेंगे बॉटल उठा लेगा, जो बॉटल बोल रहे थे वही सीखेगा। जब तक बॉटल बोला नहीं जाएगा आपको बॉटल को टच नहीं करना है, टच द बॉटल यू विल आउट। ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। लेट्स head, feet, feet, back, stomach, legs, and okay. Now we will start the with speed. Head, legs, feet, back, stomach, head, feet, head, bottom. किसके पास बॉटल है प्लीज एक बार। ओके, दीज आर द विनर्स। तो नाम बताइए, बताइए कैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहा आपको।
बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा।
नेक्स्ट नो
Hi guys, my name is Anisha and it was a great experience.
ओके, तो आपने क्या सीखा इससे? व्हाट स्किल्स यू हैव लर्न? Listening skills, very good. अब ऑर्डर रख दीजिए प्लीज। नेक्स्ट 4 and 8 people beyond. आइए कौन आ रहा है जल्दी। This is the last activity, don't worry, just come.
To last round में गाड़ी पाएंगे, if not, if you will please come on the stage.
आइए प्लीज। आइए नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट कौन है? आप आ जाइए। नेक्स्ट कौन है? मेहताब मेहताब रह गए थे लास्ट में। आ गए। 3 आओ जल्दी आओ, बॉटल से सामने खड़े हो जाओ। वी नीड मोर गर्ल्स। किसको छोड़ दिया भाई, बताओ ये अपने दोस्तों में से किस किसको हमने छोड़ दिया, भेजो। यस यस प्लीज कम, आओ बेटा जल्दी, कम ऑन द स्टेज। नेक्स्ट इधर से आ जाइए, कौन नहीं आया था? आप तीनों करोगे, तीनों का पीछे, ऑल 3 आप आ जाइए पीछे। येलो शर्ट आ जाओ बेटा, ब्लू वाले बैठो जाइए। ओके, कितना हो गया हम लोग? 1 2 3 4 5 6, we need 2 people. Okay, 8 people. आप लोग करना चाहोगे तो?
एक्शन बोलने का।
यस, ओके चलो।
ये एक नॉर्मल स्पीड वाला करते हैं, जैसे सर ने बोला था। हेड, नोज, ईयर, चेस्ट, स्टमक, बैक, फीट, हेड। This was a normal speed. आप लोगों को पता है, gradually the speed will increase. Head, nose, ears, stomach, knees, feet, knees, back, head, nose, ears, nose, stomach, feet, knees, stomach, knees, feet, knees, stomach, feet, knees, stomach, back. साथ में हाथ किसने पहले रखा था? Ultimately, who has taken the water is the man.
So everyone, my name is Hamdard.
Hello, myself is Jamia. Hi, this is Jamia.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdullah.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Hassan Sari.
Hello everyone, my name is Hamdard.
Hello everyone, this is
spark talent. Okay, thank you so much, students. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. So we have completed 4 activities. I think it's sufficient. Or last 5 minutes, we are searching for some challenges. Okay. Any singer here? मैं introduction नहीं है. This is not my orientation program. Actually, this is for you. मेरे से नहीं होगा. आप लोगों में से कौन कौन होता है? नहीं. जल्दी. अपनी आइज को ब्रेक करो.
After my can we have Asad sir on the stage as well?
ये कनेक्टेड है साउंड से कनेक्टेड है. अब्दुल्ला सर को बुलाओ. अब्दुल्ला सर कहाँ? अब्दुल्ला सर, कैन यू प्लीज हेल्प अस इन कनेक्टिंग दिस साउंड? साउंड कनेक्ट करना है. ये डिस्प्ले भी करना है. डिस्प्ले भी कर दो. हो जाए. एक मिनट कर रहा हूँ. साउंड हो जाए. खाली साउंड हो जाए. कोई बात नहीं. साउंड हो जाए. हो गया सर.
थोड़ा चेयर कर दीजिए सर को.
Okay.
So it's an old song of Kishore Kumar. Okay. Most of you have.
दिल क्या करे जब किसी से किसी को प्यार हो जाए. जाने कहाँ कब किसी को किसी से प्यार हो जाए. ऊंची ऊंची दीवारों से इस दुनिया की रस्में ना कुछ तेरे बस में झूले ना कुछ मेरे बस में. क्या करे जब किसी से किसी को प्यार हो जाए. जाने कहाँ कब किसी को किसी से प्यार हो जाए. जैसे पर्वत पे घटा झुकती है, जैसे सागर से लहर उठती है, ऐसे किसी जगह बेकार उठती है. जैसे पर्वत जैसे सागर से उतरी है ऐसे किसी चरण निगारती है ओ आप नहीं सकती नजरों को दुनिया भर की नसें कुछ तेरे बस में छुई ना कुछ मेरे बस में क्या करे जब किसी से किसी को प्यार हो जाए जाने कहाँ कब किसी को
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I have introduced the song. अब next singer कौन आ रहा है बताइए.
Hasan sir.
So हसन सर आ जाइए. बच्चे बुला रहे हैं. Give a big hand for Hasan sir.
सर कोई कैरिकेचर अच्छा ठीक है और लगाना तो प्रोजेक्ट लगाना है तो प्रोजेक्ट विंडो पी पी विंडो पी एस एन लैपटॉप पे कर
I don't know about men. There was one newspaper called Abhijit Saab. I don't know if you have heard about it. Indian Idol, first Indian Idol. तो उसका एक गाना मुझे बहुत पसंद है. वो गाओ. लफ्जों में कह ना सकूं बिन कह भी रह ना सकूं, लफ्जों में कह ना सकूं, बिन कह भी रह ना सकूं। नशा ही नशा रात दिन है, न पूछो ये कैसा प्यार है, लफ्जों में कह ना सकूं, बिन कह भी रह ना सकूं। हल्की सी बरसात में, पहली मुलाकात में, पहली बार में दिल को मेरे ले गई चाहत के किनार में, अनजाना हम गई आई जब सामने, लुको डस पागल मुझको कर गई, जाने मन जान, ना जाने क्या बात है, लगे कि दिन में रात है, ना जाने क्या बात है, लगे कि दिन में रात है। नहीं है सुबह तो नहीं शाम, अजब हाल मेरा यार है, लफ्जों में कह ना सकूं, कह भी रह ना सकूं।
Wow, sir, you are so beautiful. So, all of you follow me now. Anyone? Yeah, come on. Have a big hand. Do you want any karaoke? Karaoke
Background music.
गाना बहुत अच्छा है और आप लोगों के ऊपर फिट बैठता है। खामोशियाँ, सब खामोश बैठे हैं। एनर्जी नहीं है क्या बिल्कुल तुम लोगों को? और कोई आएगा? Anything, anyone? Please, because we have very few times left. अगर आना है तो you can.
don't necessarily have to sing. आप लोगों में से कहीं किसी ने poetry लिखी है, you can come on the stage and sing that as well. Anybody who voluntarily wants to come. आप लोगों ने इतना तो इंटरैक्ट कर ही लिया होगा, मैंने आपसे कोई तो शायर बैठा होगा यहाँ पे हमारे बीच में।
भाई दोस्तों बताओ, बेदी कौन गाने वाला है आपके बीच में? एनीवन? कोई डांस करने वाला है तो डांसर क्या करो? हम मेरे पास है पूरा अरेंजमेंट। कौन हाथ उठा रहा है पीछे से?
अगर ये नहीं करते then we have another set of questions, वो हम पूछ लेंगे और उसके लिए हम ऑन द स्पॉट आ जाएंगे, तो फिर आप लोग कर सकते हो।
अब वो भी पकड़ते हैं। यस, आप आ रहे हैं? या हैव अ बिग हैंड फॉर वेरी गुड। इसे कहते हैं कॉन्फिडेंस। ठीक है, अभी तुम लोगों में भारी मात्रा की होनी है कॉन्फिडेंस की। कौन सा चाहिए?
को बहकिया किसी को बस बातों में कई पल में आवा
ये लोग के कंप्लीट करना कोई बात नहीं क्या रुकी
We should have a environment you can always register yourself there in a group. Teachers are also okay. Thank you so much. We'll resume. So this is the poster that I'll be circulating in your WhatsApp group. Please get the access to that QR code, and you are able to register yourself with that thing. Thank you.
Please, raise your hand when your name will be called. Abhishek Chaudhary,
अफजा खान,
Atif Mehraj Khan, Ayan Khan, Ayan Khan, Ayan Ahmed, Dania Dilshad, Fahad Ali, Fahad Tariq, Haider Riaz Khan, Harsh Chaudhary. I am cutting his name. Okay. Huda Viqar, Ipna, Mannan, Junaid, Zishan Alam, Mehtab Hamid, Mahwish